So in this video, we're gonna basically be doing just a what's in my bag kind of video. I'm gonna be showcasing the bag I personally use, which when it comes to build quality, I have been very, very pleasantly surprised. I have the Harbor Freight Apache 3800. I picked one up and I have not regretted it one bit. I might release a full video kind of showcasing what I like and don't like about it, but basically the shell quality is very, very, very good. And then the foam quality is mediocre. I'll probably have to replace it in a year or two or something like that. But for what you get, ridiculously good value. So we're gonna start up in the camera slots. You can see here that there is a camera missing, obviously because I've got to shoot this on something, and there is a lens that's missing as well. The camera that's missing is the Panasonic GH4, which I'm shooting this video on. So the GH4 I'm gonna be using for a lot of 60p exclusive things, mostly because you can shoot at 100 megabits per second and 200 megabits per second, whereas the G85, which we'll talk about in a second, only shoots at 28 megabits per second at 60p. So if you screw up something, you really can't fix it too much in post with the G85 versus the GH4 gives you a lot more room to edit in. So that's typically what I use my GH4 for, unless I'm shooting a video like this. So we have the Panasonic GH4 up here. You can see I kind of carved out a little place for the eye cup, and everything pretty much carved out pretty well. Like I said, the foam's not the best quality in the world. I also have the Panasonic G85 here. This little guy, as you've probably known, is really one of my favorite cameras right now. The value that you get for it, even after the G95 just came out, is pretty ridiculous. It's really great. So I have the Panasonic G85 here. I also have my quick release plates underneath here, which I will try to remember to link in the description. These have been really nice. They've got this little handle on the side that you can manually screw it in without using like a screwdriver or something. So that's really nice. I use the G85 typically for my 4K 24p talking head videos, most of my YouTube videos, because the 4K image quality is just a little bit better than the GH4s. We'll put that back in there. And then let's talk about the bottom left of the bag. So here I have my G85 batteries, and then I have my GH4 batteries. So it's pretty much self-explanatory. I have everything listed on them, but one thing that I'll do is once I've depleted a battery and I don't have a charger on hand, is I'll take it out of the camera and then flip it up like this, and then when I close it and reopen it later, I know exactly which batteries need to be charged. So that's been kind of helpful. I haven't been, running through batteries too much lately, but definitely helpful for the future to put those kind of systems in place, I guess. Also, I have this little B-Way. I just literally looked up waterproof SD card holder on Amazon, and this was one of the first things that showed up. This has been great, good build quality. You can see I have a couple 128s, 264s. I've been using the SanDisk Ultras because I'm not really shooting in crazy high data rates. One day when I get a GH5, I'll definitely need to upgrade SD cards, but until then, these have been working really great, and they're incredibly cheap. These SD cards, I think the 64 was like 15 bucks, 20 bucks, maybe less than that. And then this case was, I think 15, 20 bucks, maybe. So nice option. And of course, you can't be a videographer without one of these rocket dust things. The only advantage for it being a rocket is that you can stand it up pretty much anywhere and it'll just stay upright. But this thing's been really nice. I have gotten significant amount of dust on my G85 sensor because when I shoot my B-roll with it, I'll have the lens cap off, and dust, I can even see some in there already. Dust will get on the sensor really easily, and having this guy has been very, very helpful to just get that dust out of the way. I got some microfiber cloths here, and then I have my step-up rings. I believe these are newer, and then I think I picked up some K&F concepts as well. I have an extra one of these quick release for the camera, which I keep here since I have 3 quick release plates, one on the glide cam, one on the tripod, and one on the monopod. So that's helpful to have that. And then this is a step-up ring for these variable ND filters, which I'll talk about in a second. So we'll put those back. Always keep one of these. Little flathead screwdriver for various things that need to be tightened. That one's empty because I'm using it right here. But let's talk about the Go variable ND filter. So this, I actually looked up the price right now, and it actually went up significantly. It was like 40 bucks, I think, when I bought it, and now it's gone up to like 65 or something for these 77 millimeters. So obviously the quality hasn't changed, but I guess the demand has. But these have been really nice variable ND filters for me. They're sharp, and they're not the best variable ND filters out there by any stretch of the imagination, but for what you get and how smooth the element moves, just the value is, from what I can tell, really nice. So those are really good, and they come in these little metal cases, which I really like, and they just slide right in there. And that's pretty much it for those various things. Lastly, let's talk about lenses. So this is the Sigma 30 1.4. This is by far my favorite lens probably right now. The 30 millimeter, it's equivalent to 60 millimeters, so it can be a little bit tight indoors, but the depth of field, essentially the blurry background that you get with this lens, is really nice. And I've used this for quite a few interviews, pretty much all of my YouTube videos, and also for some professional work as well. So I use this little lens as my workhorse, and it's super cheap. I think it's like $290. And from what Sigma says, you get art lens optical quality in a contemporary body. So the only drawback to this little lens for me is going to be that focus by wire, but actually this 30 isn't too bad. It's maybe like one step below the Panasonic G85 1.7 in the focus by wire responsiveness and quality. Significantly better than the 16. This 16's focus by wire is kind of terrible. So highly recommend this lens if you're shooting micro four thirds. So the last slot here that is going to be empty is the Sigma 16 1.4, which I use for establishing shots and some things that need a little bit of a wider field of view. And if I'm on my GH4, I can do more handheld shots with the 16 because it doesn't necessarily take out the shake, it makes the field of view wider and seem like there's a little less shake in the shot. So the 16 is really nice for the GH4. Put that on the glide cam with the GH4 and you get some really nice walking, establishing, all that stuff. Anyways, if you have any questions about what I've gone over in this bag, or if I missed something that you'd like me to cover in the future, make sure to let me know in the comments below. If you feel like supporting the channel, I have affiliate links below via my kit page. I hope this was helpful in some way, and we'll see you all next week.